division. So say, for example, that we have a total of 29, and we're going to divide that by 4. So what they should know is that this is the divisor, this is the dividend, and what we were asking for is the quotient. So basically, what times 4 is close to 29 without going over? So there's 4 steps in long division. The first thing that we do is we divide, they multiply, we subtract, and then we bring down. And they know those steps. So the first thing we say to ourselves is 4 times what is close to 29 without going over? So we're dividing 29 times 4 is what? So 6 times 4 is 24, 7 times 4 is 28, 8 times 4 is 32, that's too much. So we know that 7 times 4 is close to 29 without going over. So 7 times 4 is 28. That was the division. Then we multiply. They can put a multiplication sign here if it helps them. 7 times 4 is 28. So we've divided, we multiply, next we subtract, and that leaves us 1. 1 is less than the divisor, so we circle that, and that is our remainder. So 7 times 4 is 28, plus 1 is 29. So our answer is 7 with a remainder of 1. We also can write that as a fraction. So that also can be 7 and 1 out of 4 equal pieces. Or we also know that 1/4 is the same as 25 hundredths. So those are our 3 different ways that we can answer that. That's the quotient. 3 different ways to express an answer. Now, if we're getting to bigger numbers, it's the same method, and they should just know as we're increasing numbers across here, these numbers at the top are increasing its place value. So if we're going to do, for example, 4 into 298, that they should know the answer should be somewhere around 70. So the best way that we do this is we just draw the area box. And the first thing that we do is we can do a digit by digit method. And we can say, can 4 go into 2? No, it can't. 4 times what is close to 29 without going over? And that answer is still 7. But we have that extra digit under there, so it makes it, instead of 7, it's 7D. So they put 70 up at the top. So we've divided. 298 divided by 4 is close to 70 without going over. And then after you divide, you multiply. 70 times 4, 7 times 4 is 28, times 10 is 280. So they've divided, multiply, then we subtract, and we bring that down out of the box, which gives us 18. 18 is larger than the divisor, so that we know that we can divide that 4 into the 18 one more time. So what we do is we call it sending it to the next box over. So that 18 now becomes this portion. We divided 4 into the 298. We had 18 left over. Now we have to divide that 4 in there again. Okay. So then what we'd say is 4 times what? 18 divided by 4 is what? What times 4 is close to 17 without going over? So 4 times 4 is 16, which is good, and 4 times 5 is 20. That's too much, so we know it's 4. We've divided. 18 divided by 4 is 4 without going over. 4 times 4 is 16, and then we subtract and bring that down. So we have 2 left over. So we know that 2 is smaller than the 4. So our answer is we have 74 with a remainder of 2. So we're still following those same steps as we did. First we divide, we multiply, we subtract, then we bring down. And so we can just add another digit to that. This is the final thing in 4th grade that we're doing. We're having one divisor only right now, but we can go up to a 4-digit number. So let's do 2,984. And we start all over again, the same method. We can do digit by digit. It's usually easier for the kids to do this. So we just go like this. 7 can't go into 4. We know that 4 times something is 28 without going over. So 6 times 4 is 24. 7 times 4 is 28. So it's 7 can go into 28. But we now know there's 2 digits under there. So instead of 7, it's 700. So we put 700 up at the top, and we've divided. So then after we've divided, we multiply. So 700 times 4, the kids should know this is 2,800. We've been working on this a lot. And then they subtract. And so then we get 184. 184 is definitely larger than the 4, so we put that off into the next box because now we have to divide 184 by 4. So we put that into its own box. So we say 7 times what is close to 184 without going over, and once again we can do the digit by digit. 4 can't go into 1. 4 into 18, 4 times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20, so it's 4 times 4, but they know it's not 4, there's an extra digit under there, so that makes it 40. 40 times 4 is 160, and then we subtract and get 24. 24 is not smaller than 4, so once again we have to go into another box and put 24. And we say 24 divided by 4 is 6. We've divided. 6 times 4 is 24. We subtract. So our answer here is 746. And that's how we do long division.